Hello everyone, Drake Robinson here. I'm back. Um, and I really wanted to make this video because, um, some people have speculated on it, but I saw this other black pillar make a video on his, it kind of inspired me to, tell my story, if you will. Pretty much it's a am I or on the spectrum? Basically, am I on the autism spectrum? And while I've never been formally diagnosed with anything, in my humble opinion, I do believe I am. And, this is nothing that I've been embarrassed or anything to talk about because y'all know I'm an open book, like I say all the time. But, you know, just my whole life, I've just been, I guess, just a psychoanalyzer, if you will. I've always looked at things differently from others. That's, I've always just had a whole different view on particular topics, particular just subjects in school. Um, Even at a super young age, I knew I was already advanced in my intelligence over the other kids, over the other blue pillar kids. And of course, I was made fun of because of that. Of course, I was ridiculed, objectified, like I'm some alien from another planet with no feelings or no sense of no sense of worth. But that's what you get in when you're dealing with privileged people and their backwards twisted ideology and their beliefs. Um, you know, and that's honestly why I identify with the Muslims and Muslim culture because they understand that they understand that education is important, and here in the West, in America, like education is looked down upon in a lot of ways because what the West here in America well, I don't say what the West promotes is degeneracy. What the West promotes is just 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 very antithetical to what I'm sure my grandparents, my grandmother, Allah rest her soul, grew up on those old school beliefs, good old fashioned values, if you will. Of get your education, do something productive with your life, even if it's not what you dreamed of. It's still doing something that you are good at. You know. But nowadays it's oh you can be half naked on the internet and people pay money to see it. A bunch of simps will pay money to see it. You can get famous just for being a complete idiot, quite frankly, just being a complete was having no talent at all. Look at that. What's her name? Uh, the Haktua girl. Perfect example. Uh, Jojo Siwa. Perfect example. Like these are degenerates hyped up by Western culture, by modern Western culture. I'm sorry. Uh, Modern degenerate blue pillar Western culture. I'm sorry again. Uh, that these are their superstars. These are their mascots, if you will. Like when people think of the West in America, they think of those people because they are what the West promotes and hops up and makes famous overnight. Danielle Bregoli, also another one of those degenerates who is a mother now. God knows. I'm, uh, Yeah, I think it's safe to say that America, aka Babylon, has no is just completely just gone downhill. Like if there was ever like a need for a purge, like in real life, like the Purge movies, I think we're heading down that road. And honestly, it sounds scary, but nah, I think it's needed at this point. Um, but anyway, I'm rambling. But back on the topic of why I believe that yes, I am on the spectrum, and why it's not a bad thing. Because honestly, a lot of us good guys, we are on the spectrum, and that's not, like I said, it's not a bad thing. That makes us stand out. That makes us by default more intelligent than the people who look down upon us, which is always a fact, but it's very emphasized now because and it's also another example of why the black pill is so important, because a lot of us black pillars, we understand things, like we get it, like we don't need anything explained to us. We get it right off from the jump, and that's why it's so important to just stay on code as far as the black pill goes and keep promoting it to the next generation of black pillars who won't understand why they're so looked down upon and hated and judged and picked on by the privileged crowd, and why they are actually the real winners as far as intelligence, as far as actually being productive, being old school in our beliefs, having regular jobs, being accomplished, you know, you know, being at the top of our professions from our regular 9 to 5s. We're not, on some internet shenanigans and all that, like all these blue pillars are, privileged people are, and why ultimately they're the losers at the end of the day, and we're the winners. Because when if this online stuff disappears and people aren't making money, anything like that, online promoting their degeneracy, then ultimately, we win. We're the real winners at the end of the day, which we all are. But, but until that day comes, which is hopefully real soon, or 20 years from now, but eventually that day will happen. Like, mark my words, and I'll be right here to, to emphasize that and rub it in their faces, which they absolutely wholeheartedly deserve. I'm sorry, but yeah. So pretty much, I know it's kind of all over the place. I'm sorry I haven't been as active as I wanted to be. Just very busy with a lot of stuff. But I'm back now, and yeah, just stay on code with the black pill. I'm out.